this is our next project. And if I don't hurry up, I'm going to eat them all. Yep, they're M&Ms. And I'm going to try and make an M&M bowl.
Get in the bowl.
You get in the bowl.
It'll be fine. Now, these are quite nice. These are different ones. These are like, they haven't got the nuts in these. They do different ones, don't they? These are, I don't know, they're like crispy. A bit crispy inside. I could eat these all day. But I won't. So, I've been thinking about making something with M&Ms for a while. I don't know why, I just kind of thought, M&Ms. Let's make something out of M&Ms. Now, whether that's a bowl or a pot or a vase or something, I just really was intrigued about making them because, again, lots of colours, and I saw that and I thought that would be quite a cool little project. So, what I thought I would do is, we need to find a blank bit of wood, and we need to get that on the lathe initially and start to turn it into some kind of platter or bowl or some kind. And then we need to think about how we're going to try to incorporate the M&Ms into the bowl, because they're obviously sweets, so we need to mix this up with a bit of resin, so the resin kind of seals them inside. And what we can't do as well is we can't cut these at all, because as soon as we break the seal of the M&M, then, well, they're no good.
Uh-oh.
So we just need to seal them inside the bowl with the resin. Got to be careful, because when I get the resin in there, I've got to make sure that I don't go down too far. Almost kind of like when I did with the Legos, but when I went down too far, I just chopped the heads off. But that was okay, because I could still finish that. But I think if we get into cutting the M&Ms into bits, I think the project would be ruined. So, let's find a piece of wood that we can work with, and let's see if we can start this. Let's see if we can seal some M&Ms inside a bowl forever. So, this one looks quite nice. This one's been in my shed for quite some time, and I've chosen this one. Because it's dark, and it's called Panga Panga. Yeah, that's right. Panga Panga. That is crazy. Is that right? So we're going to use the Panga Panga today. So initially we just want to start to get this on the lathe. I'm going to use the plate that I've got. I'm going to use this plate. Now, I cleaned these up earlier on because they were getting a bit rusty and grubby, and all I did was just give it a little bit of a sand, got rid of all of the rust, and I just coated it with a little bit of WD-40 just to kind of make it nice again, because it get a little bit grubby, looked a bit, you know, well, it just didn't look very nice. Nice and shiny and new. It's not new, but it's just clean. And so we want to get the this in the centre here, get that screwed on there, and then once that's screwed on, we'll get it on the lathe, and we'll start turning this into some kind of bowl stroke platter, which will then start to form our base for our M&Ms to go in. Okay, so it's looking pretty good. The grain is absolutely amazing on this. I've never used this wood before, never come across it, but it looks really nice. I think it's going to really complement the M&M Bowl, and I hope that, you know, it really brings it out. I think it's going to really bring out the grain even more against all the colours in there. So I'm looking forward to doing this. So I'm just going to finish off the bottom and get that ready, and then I can reverse it and put it in the chuck. But initially, so we're going to do a bit of sanding now, try to finish off the base, and then I can flip it over, and then we can start kind of carving out the inside. So we need to carve out the inside in a way where we can sort of fit the M&Ms inside it. So we need some sort of lip at the top and bottom left somehow to be able to sort of like fit all those around it. So not too sure how it's going to work yet, as always, but let's hope we get the result we want. So we're just going to use 120 grit to start with. Just use some of the cellulose sanding sealer from Chestnut. That's the stuff that I always use, and you can see what it's done to that grain. It looks really nice, really nice. So we're going to put a couple of coats of sanding sealer on this, sand it back to probably around about 400, and then I'll probably pop some Yorkshire grit on. At the moment it's going to be a bit of sanding. So I've just put the Yorkshire grit on there, and that's come up really nice. So as you've seen, it does give a pretty good finish anyway, but it's not a finish, but it does do a really great job. We've done the sanding sealer, a few coats of sanding sealer, sanded it back to about 400 grit, put a put the Yorkshire grit on, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the next step on, and the next step is, we all know this one, my WOODWAX 22. I didn't use this for a while, but I started to use this at the very beginning when I started doing wood turning, and then I kind of put it down. I'm not too sure why, didn't use it for ages, but then brought it back out again. This is a Chestnut Products product, and it's pretty good. Look at this grain. That is just nuts. Have you ever seen anything like that before? I certainly haven't seen anything like that before. That is beautiful. Colours in it. It just looks like some kind of animal. It's going to come up really nice. So with all these M&Ms scattered around the inside, I think that's going to really complement the bowl really well, I think. I hope. That is it on there now. I don't actually think I'm going to put my sheller wax on there this time. I think that is just a good enough finish for me. So what we're going to do now is we're going to flip this over, just double check. Yeah, see, when the emblem goes in there, that's going to look quite nice as well. That will just drop in there. Just check that before we undo it. Okay, so this is what we've got so far. Now, I've made this kind of little rim here because I thought it might make it just a bit of a different feature. You can fill the M&Ms in here, and then that will seal that up with some resin. So that will be okay. This part here, we want to put some more M&Ms in here as well, but we're not going to get them right up the top because they're just not going to fit. So I'll show you. So here's our M&M, and it's just not going to fit up there. When we get to that point there, it's just going to sit too proud, and we need to have this filled with and sealed in resin as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a groove somewhere down here, and then that's where we're going to put the M&Ms in. So we're just going to have like a groove. We might have one groove or maybe two grooves, I don't know yet, but that's where we're going to try to line them up down the bottom there somehow. So what we need to do is we need to finish this, because when we set it in resin, it's going to be clear resin, and you want to be able to see the underneath. If you're going to see any of the wood, you want it to see a nice finish on the bottom. There is the theory that these might not stick to the finished kind of piece of wood with all the you know, products on it, but I think it will be fine. I did this before with my cog bowl. If you haven't seen the cog bowl, I'll stick it around here somewhere, and that seemed to come out okay. Let's make some grooves now of where we want these to sit, and then finish the inside, and then we can start laying in the our little friends. Bowl is now ready for the M&Ms. The grain is so nice in this. I reckon these guys are going to be alright in here.
Do you think I'm an idiot?
So there we go. So we've got all the M&Ms glued now to the bottom, and I've made sure that I've got all the M's that are printed on these sweets facing upwards. So that's kind of the feature of the bowl. What we need to do now is to set it in resin and leave it overnight. Right, so that's in the pressure pot now, and we're going to leave that overnight and see how these guys get on in the morning. Good luck, guys.
Just because we don't have ears doesn't mean we can't hear you.
There it is, folks. Unfortunately, it is a bit of a failure. A little bit disappointed with this one, and I'm really sorry that it hasn't turned out the way that I kind of wanted it to. From a distance, it looks alright, but close up, we've had a little bit of a reaction with the M&Ms. For some reason it seemed to have created a lot of bubbles in here, and I don't know if you can see them or not, but there's quite a lot of bubbles in and around the area. Now I've noticed that some of the M&Ms have broken, split, so I was wondering whether or not there's air inside the sweets, and it's just released air when it really shouldn't have done. It's created loads of bubbles. Now I could hog it all out and start again, but I think with this type of project I'm going to have the same problem. I mean, it's an absolutely fantastic piece of wood, it really is. I mean, look at that, look at the grain in that, it just looks so lovely. I'm going to have to get some more of this wood and do just a normal bowl, I think, because it just looks so nice, or a pot or something like that. I can't remember what it was called now. Puck or something weird, wasn't it? So yeah, I've tried to clean it up as much as I can, and again, you know, it's all right from a distance, you know, and if you're just kind of displaying it as an M&M bowl in the distance, it looks all right, but when you pick it up and have a look round it, there's a lot of bubbles in it, which are, yeah, disappointing. I did actually have a lot of other work involved in this off camera. Initially it had quite large bubbles in it, so what I did is I filled it back up with some more resin, put it back in the pressure pot, and I thought I'd be able to get away with it. That's filled in some of the larger holes, but there's still lots of little holes in here, and it just, because of the holes, it just hasn't finished properly, that's all. But, you know, if you're looking at it like that, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's got M&Ms in it, and they're in there forever. And I don't think that they're going to decay in any way. I think once they're set in resin, I think that's kind of preserves them, I think. I'm actually not too sure about that. Any resin experts out there could maybe comment about setting things like this into resin, and whether or not that, you know, it will preserve the sweets or not. You know, kind of almost like if I set myself in resin, would I be preserved? Would I decay inside the resin? Or would it be almost like kind of setting yourself in like ice or something? I don't know. So, I hope you enjoyed watching the M&M bowl. So it's been on my mind for quite some time, making a bowl out of M&M. Maybe we'll pass this one over to Peter Brown and see if he can do a project with M&Ms. I'm sure he'd like to take that one up. I know he does a lot of sweets, so this one will probably be right up his street, unless he's done it already. But there we go, there we have it. So the M&M bowl. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope you were entertained at least part way. So thanks very much for watching, guys and girls. Thanks very much for joining me on the on today's project video. I hope you all have a great weekend, and if you haven't hit the subscribe button, please hit the subscribe button on your way out. If you did want to share the video, that would really help me out, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Take care all, bye bye.
Wait, what? This is just a commercial.
Can someone shut off the